We talked about Sting and Survivor Series banishing the Authority. Less than a month later, the Authority are back in power on Raw.
How did this happen?
And one of the worst. You didn't even notice till now?
No, I don't. I
see my
seriously,
tweets?
I have no idea what's going on.
I'm glad I'm telling you fresh.
Okay,
because your look of like just what? So what happened was they were banished. So they had like guest GMs every week. You had
the anonymous GM.
They did that for one time. They
Yeah.
tried to work that in. You had the with the guy from Robot Chicken with the red head. Who hosted Raw before the short one. Seth Green. He hosted one. He's hosted one in the past. You know, it was fine. Whatever. The whole thing was like John Cena. The whole stipulation was
just get to it. How did How did they make Cena bring back?
Listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to this.
I'm
and people were arguing with me about this on Twitter. How I said how this was the most atrocious writing ever. But it's just wrestling. No, it's still fucking stupid and insults your intelligence. So Edge and Christian. By the way, Christian's officially retired. They kind of announced on the side, which is I feel good from. We should have a whole separate Christian conversation. How he was underappreciated.
Yes.
Anyway, Edge and Christian host Raw. They have this thing where they both have their own show. They have the Peep Show and the Cutting Edge. You think you know me? They put them together, and in the show, they're going to interview Seth Rollins, and then interview Seth Rollins. He's with J&J Security. Big Show comes out. Blah blah blah. We're going to have Brock Lesnar out today, who happened to be in the show in the beginning and fought with Cena a little bit. Lesnar doesn't come out, but Big Show comes out, and then Seth Rollins attacks Christian. He hits him in the gut with the briefcase, with the Money Bank briefcase. I can see he's starting to go. Mm-hmm. And then he attacks Edge with it. Mm-hmm. And has Cena come out here right now. So they put Edge's head against the briefcase. And you have Big Show holding his head down. And basically Rollins says, "Don't get any closer or I'll break his neck. I will kill him." Okay. That usually doesn't happen on Raw, but that's what happens. So,
what the fuck?
Cena comes to save Edge, who they set up early in the show. It was cool. They even brought the fact that they had a huge rivalry in the mid-2000s. He went to his house and punched out Cena's dad. They actually brought that up, but they still had a begrudging respect for each other somehow. So Cena comes out to save him. "Don't you come any closer, I'll break his neck." Then he changed it to, "If you don't bring the Authority back, I'm going to break his neck." And this goes on for like 5 minutes. Where Cena's and then finally, they give him a microphone and says, if you say, bring back the Authority back, I won't break his neck. So Cena goes, "I bring back the Authority." "Say it louder, Cena!" It's like, "Swear to me!" He's Batman. "I bring back the Authority!" And then, no less than 15 seconds later, the music hits, and then Triple H and Stephanie McMahon come out with champagne glasses for the new year, and they're back in power because Cena said it on a microphone. Well, so the Authority is back. Okay, never mind the fact that it was attempted murder in the ring.
Right.
Say what you will about wrestling, it's very rare when you get an attempted murder on a microphone as a threat. Never mind the fact that you think it'd be a contract you'd have to sign in ink in order to do something like bring back the Authority versus just saying it. Never mind the fact that it was extortion over a threat of killing someone. Never mind the fact that Christian was knocked out for 20 minutes at the side of the ring over a gut shot from the briefcase. It was one of the worst endings, not just because it didn't make any sense, but people were like, "What about the Attitude Era when Austin had a gun to McMahon's head?" That was the fucking Attitude Era when you had Mae Young giving birth to a hand. The WWE, to their credit, has stayed away from really fucking dumb things like this, I'd say, for a good 4 years or so. Ever since, or 5 years, probably going back to when McMahon was killed, in the limo, and then Benoit killed people for real the next day, so they dropped the angle.
Yeah.
I'd say ever since that, they've sort of shied away from shit way, way over the top, where like Paul Bearer's getting killed by like cement. They haven't done that shit in a while.
Or Big Show's dad is being...
My dad is dead!
Your dad is dead!
But yes, so really fucking bad for a few reasons. One of which being that now the huge Sting debut from a month back
means nothing.
Means absolutely nothing. Because even Triple H came out the next day saying, "Sting, I don't know why you had to be relevant, blah, blah, blah." Potentially setting up a match for down the road, potentially, or doesn't mean anything because now you're back in power a month later. So who fucking cares? Water under the bridge. So one of the biggest debut of a wrestler in the past probably 15 years doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, I mean, it's like we talked about during one of the more recent ones. I really feel like, that was the last big debut that you could have, at least of an old guard wrestler. And
doesn't matter anymore.
A month later,
go back and rewatch it. Doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
because you put him out of power for a month. And this is a problem, though. The writing is so short-sighted and doesn't give anything room to simmer. Goes back to CM Punk in the fall of 2011, the hottest angle in probably 10 years, the hottest wrestler on the planet. He leaves with the title. He goes to Comic-Con with the title and basically invades the WWE panel at Comic-Con. Major ESPN's talking about it. Major News is talking about it. They want interviews. They bring that motherfucker back 3 weeks later. They could have waited at least 2 months, 3 months, wait until Survivor Series even to do that. It would have been the hottest thing ever. If you had CM Punk going around talking smack about the fake paper champion, I'm the real champion, they won't mention me. You know how huge that would have been when he finally would come back?
Yeah.
But they don't see it that way.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the Monday Night Wars, and this is the thing.
They're over. I know.
I've just said it multiple times in a row. I say it a lot. Someone point that out. The Monday Night Wars changed things forever. And it didn't need to, because WWE no longer has real competition. Okay. In the 80s and 90s, when WWE was on top, they could let things simmer. They could let these storylines build up for a year or more and really go to a good payoff, which does make the match better. Even a shitty match is better when you follow the build up to it, because it gives it a sense of importance. And they could, because there wasn't a lot of competition, so they could do this properly. They could get real good heat or real good pops or real good hype for a wrestler. Then WCW starts to pick up, and when Hogan gets over there, NWO comes in, and suddenly the Monday Night Wars start, and all of a sudden these companies, the writers are constantly trying to outdo each other. Storylines are going out the window. Nothing gets any time to cook. Feuds are set up and dismantled within 2 months, and the next thing you know, Buff Bagwell's fucking tagging with his, arch nemesis, and it's like WWE doesn't realize that they don't need to do that anymore.
Well, they think they probably do because they are now not running a pay-per-view business, now on a network.
Sure.
But they're shooting themselves in the foot now because they probably got a decent amount of subscribers because they showed Survivor Series for free. Huge match, 40-minute match. Dolph Ziggler bumped his ass off. Great match, awesome ending with Sting. But now it doesn't matter. So you cannot. And Survivor Series is one of the big pay-per-views of the year. It's one of the big five.
Yeah.
Or it used to be big five, big four. You can't have a major pay-per-view main event be counterfeit. You can't go back on it 360 or 180. You can't do a 180 on
180 degrees!
Yeah, 180 degrees. 360. You can't do that within a month.
No.
Because now, if I watch WrestleMania or SummerSlam, well, this ending doesn't matter.
Well, and this is the thing, if you pull in... I'm gonna fucking punch myself in the face if I say this is the thing one more time. These subscribers that you've got, by showing them a good Survivor Series match, if they're new, because that was the point, right? It was to bring in new viewers, people who don't understand this. Try this for free, see what it's all about, and they did. They give you a good match, and they give you the Sting reveal for free. Perfect way to get people in. But now they see shit like this, and they go, oh, this is what people mean when they say wrestling is bullshit, or it doesn't mean anything.
It's terrible.
And in the long run, I don't know if they're still requiring... I think they are, because I think I had to, and I might have to re-up soon. I think they are still requiring six months commitments, at least on your initial sign up, and those aren't people that are going to come back.
This would be like going to watch, I don't know, the end of let's say the end of Avengers 2. They defeat Ultron, spoilers. And then the next movie that comes out, Ultron's back in 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
And you're like, then why the fuck did I just watch Avengers 2 Age of Ultron?
Right.
It doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
They have to think of it that way. A major storyline ends, it cannot resume basically the next week.
Right.
Or next month. It's got to wait like 4, 5, 6 months. Hell, give it to the freaking Royal Rumble.
And there's just so many.
At least. Give it 2 months.
There's so many ways they could have
Done it.
whether it was before Survivor Series or after, where they could have, written this to the point where you don't have to threaten to break someone's neck.
Edge's neck
to bring back.
Edge is a non-competitor too, so you can't even say, "Well, they do." No, he's not even a wrestler. Technically, he could sue the company for $100 million. One of your wrestlers. I know you say, "Whoa, it's wrestling. It doesn't matter." You cannot suspend your You can suspend your disbelief. Obviously, it's wrestling, but there's only so much you can do it. There's only so much you could do it to the point where, like, okay, now it makes absolutely even zero wrestling sense anymore.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.